What's up, you guys? I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre. Welcome back to the channel and this Apex Legends video. And today I want to discuss a couple lines from yesterday's comic that lend a huge amount of credibility to the theory that this woman from the Season 7 story trailer is actually Ash from Titanfall 2, and also the broken ghost that we assembled at the end of Season 5. Besides some of the words that she said back then, her connection to Olympus, and the specific mention of all roads leading to Branthium, the special new element that Horizon was trying to collect in that trailer, there was a specific set of lines spoken by Lifeline's father, Darian Che, whose importance didn't actually hit me until the middle of the night last night. So let's go back to that scene. The Legends had just shown up at the dining hall, and they're trying to find Lifeline's father. They start to walk up on him, and he's in the middle of a conversation talking about how his dad invested in Peck Labs, and that himself and Silva would be going there after preschool, trashing every room in the lab, and that the head lady in charge would call after them, Darian, Eduardo, her name being Reeves or something, and that she hated children. And this specifically reminded me of a line back from the end of Season 5, when Octane was talking to Lifeline, being scared about what that head was saying, being terrified that Ash somehow knew these names, Darian and Eduardo. And at the time, we didn't understand the importance of those names, but now we know for a fact that Darian is Darian Che, Lifeline's father, and Eduardo is Eduardo Silva, Octane's father, and that when these two guys grew up together in preschool, they would hang out around a laboratory, and that there was a lady in charge there who would yell at them all the time as they ran around destroying the lab. Now, one of the things that struck me when I was watching the Horizon launch trailer is that we didn't really see a noticeable logo for the laboratory that she was looking at. It didn't look like an IMC lab, it didn't look like a Hammond lab, and I'm willing to bet that this was in fact Peck Labs where Horizon worked. And then after she was left stranded in space, this mystery woman, who I now believe to be Reeves, assumed control of those labs and attempted to continue her research into Branthium. It also makes complete sense to me that this mystery woman would also harbor a resentment towards children. Because if you think about it, if she left Horizon stranded in space, then that means she would have to deal with Horizon's orphan son once she got back to Olympus. And I could totally understand how being forced to raise the child of a woman you likely hated would plant the seed for resentment towards all children in general. So I am pretty convinced now that this woman who left Horizon stranded in space is in fact Ash. And like I said, this is the only reasonable explanation I can think of for why she would have memories of Branthium, why she would have memories of calling after Darian and Eduardo. But what still remains a mystery is how she ended up as Ash in the first place. Did she want to attempt to continue her research? Was her body failing and she wanted to try to keep going, and so attempted to have herself put into a simulacrum? Or was she a subject of an experiment, much the same way that Revenant was? Because Hammond Robotics didn't really seem to want much out of her except the information that was stored inside her head after we reassembled her in the Broken Ghost quest. So there's still a ton of mystery surrounding this scenario, but I feel very certain that Ash is Reeves, and that Reeves is the woman who left Horizon in space. I hope you guys were intrigued by this theory. If you want to stay up to date on some Apex Legends lore, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell. In the meantime, I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre, and I'm out.